welcome to the Frasier Report with James and Ben. It's the first show about basically analysing the Frasier episodes through all the episodes through all the series. And then we're going to start off, as you would, at episode 1, which is The Good Son.
Yes, The Good Son.
The Good Son, which is a pilot for Frasier. And your initial thoughts, Ben?
Oh, well, I thought it was a decent pilot. It basically took you from where Frasier was to where he is now. With not much effort.
Well, there wasn't much effort put into the episode, to be honest, but it didn't need to. It was kind of a minimalist episode. Frasier is basically a radio host now, as opposed to a psychiatrist, solely a psychiatrist. Yes. And he's really bad at it.
He's not pretty good at it, so you basically got his new producer Rose, who is the kid, who is better than him at what he does.
Well, she's a professional.
Yes.
She's a professional, and he's obviously just learning the ropes. And he's dropping commercials. She says, do you know what really annoys me? That when they take colours with about 10 seconds to go,
yes.
I don't know why they do that. It irks me. They don't just do that in this pilot. They do that all throughout every single season, where there'll be 10 seconds to go and he'll tell them that he's out of town.
He's first off talking to Bob.
Yeah.
And telling him that he's behaving terribly.
Listen to yourself, Bob. You follow her to work. You eavesdrop on her calls. You open her mail. The minute you started doing these things, the relationship was over. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, so the show basically uses all the callers as a way to move the plot along.
It's a plot device, if you will.
It is a plot device, and it's a plot device all throughout the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it starts off like that, and then continues.
The second call, where it basically tells you how he got here. He's left Lilith.
Oh yeah. He left Lilith and then went back to her and left her again.
Yes.
Because she was just a horrific person.
6 months ago, I was living in Boston. My wife had left me, which was very painful. Then she came back to me, which was excruciating.
See, I don't even really remember her from Cheers, because I didn't really watch the later series, but I remember her from Frasier, obviously. So I only know Lilith really from Frasier.
Yeah. She's just basically Frasier.
Yeah. She's Frasier, but with, I don't know, she's more like Niles, I would say.
Yes.
It's very strange.
She's cold.
Yeah, she's cold.
So yeah, then we move on to Niles, who is, again, like Frasier.
Well, he is, that's what I mean, he's a clone. He's basically his... I don't know if they thought that would work when they started the show, but it worked well, because the juxtaposition isn't with his brother, the juxtaposition is with his father.
Yes, and when we first seen him there, Niles is telling the story about Maris, and Frasier's not listening.
Yeah, this is where Maris becomes just like a running gag.
Well, I think they thought they were going to introduce her for the series, but then she got more and more...
well, they built her up more and more outlandish.
So they couldn't find an actress that was... that had all those traits to play her.
No, I mean, I suppose Bebe Neuwirth, who plays Lilith, would be the closest, but then that part was already taken. Yeah, so basically they're looking to get Niles is looking to find out what they have to do with their father, because he's fallen over and hurt himself, and he's showing him leaflets
for
rest home,
golden acres,
they care so that you don't have
yes.
to. And that obviously makes Frasier feel bad.
Feel very bad about the fact that he's just like not that they've left, but the fact that he knows in the heart of hearts that he's got to take him in.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't want to take him, he just doesn't want to interfere with life.
Well, he's had like he says later on, he's had a big upheaval.
Yes.
And moving's difficult, and then, adding extra pressures on can be quite difficult, and he doesn't want any extra pressures, basically. He's just happy the way his life is at that point in time.
So yeah, so they're discussing that, and that basically, after that, Frasier agrees to take him in, so then they cut to Frasier's lovely apartment.
Yeah, this apartment is ridiculous. You wonder how he affords it on a local radio host's wage. But he's got top like almost penthouse apartment overlooking the whole of Seattle with a perfect view of the Space Needle, which is obviously, you know, a major landmark in Seattle.
Yeah.
So you wonder how he's afforded this, plus all the extravagantly expensive furniture.
But, you know, people just accept it.
Yeah. Well, it's like the cast of Friends living in a central New York,
Yes.
you know, apartment across from each other.
But at least that's a bit more grungy.
It's grungy, but it still probably costs about
this
$10,000 a
This
week.
is like something Michael Bloomberg would love.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's pure quality.
So we get to the apartment and the preacher is, you know, playing on his piano, like you do. And the doorbell rings and the playing stops.
Yeah.
And you just get the thud of the piano lid.
Yes, he drops the piano lid down, and it's one of the good sort of sight gags.
Yes.
Where Kelsey Grammer is excellent at. He doesn't have to say much.
Yeah, it's just like a thud, and then the Kelsey Grammer look.
Yeah, the look. It's a look of horror, and then we meet. Niles brings in Martin.
Martin isn't the most likable character.
He's a bit of a git, to be honest. He's a grumpy git.
You can't, and they have the most awkward hug
Yeah.
you've ever seen.
Well, we're kind of led to believe it's quite a strange relationship.
I mean, you know what I like the hugs? It's a bit like that.
Yeah,
I don't do hugs.
From a distance, well, nobody does hugs anymore, Ben.
No, not them. But it's the most awkward hug you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's almost like well, we'll get to the thing later, but basically Niles says a handshake's as good as a hug later on.
And what happens then is Frasier decides to become like a tour guide.
He's trying to make the best of it. He's showing it off, showing off his apartment, which you're wondering how he's never shown his dad. His dad's never been over to the apartment. That just shows how strained their relationship has been and how little they have to do with each other. Even though he's moved back to that city, and they still haven't. He still hasn't been in his house.
No, and so he points out things that, quite frankly, you can see, right? So he goes, "There's the Space Needle there."
Yeah,
And Martin says in that gruff one, "It's not like I haven't lived here all my life, you know."
Well, he's kind of pointing out the obvious.
So,
but then he treats him like a child, doesn't he?
Yeah. So then they go to sit down, and Martin's Fraser saying, "What do you think of the apartment? It's nice. It's a good place, you know." But then he does this weird thing when he kicks up like an ashtray from the table. I just thought
he's really rude. He puts his feet up on his table and just whacks the ornament across the table, and you think that's just really no wonder Fraser dislikes you.
And he's pointing at the furniture and how nice it is, you know. And,
he's not a very likeable character at the start.
Man goes, "It's your money."
Yeah.
And Fraser's again trying to make the best of this terrible well, it's not terrible, it's an awkward situation they're in. And Fraser pointing out the fact that if you've got good furniture and it goes together, it's called eclectic.
Is it? Well, I like it. I agree with him.
And all this time in the background, Niles, David Hyde Pierce, is trying to be, because he doesn't have to.
He's trying to be positive, isn't he?
Because he doesn't have to look after him.
Yeah, he's realising he's got away with something.
Yes, he's got away with it, you know.
And he's quite happy to he's trying to be all jovial and move him in as quickly as possible so that Fraser can't say no, basically. He says he's got to leave quickly because he's got a session with a group that have a fear of abandonment or something.
No, it's the families that don't get on.
Families.
He's going to leave and
families that don't get on.
And just as he's going out the door, he's pissing on a little bit. Have you mentioned Eddie yet?
Well, now that you two are settled in, I've got to run. I'm late for my dysfunctional family seminar. Dad, have you mentioned Eddie yet?
Oh yeah, Eddie, the dog. Yeah.
And
again, another good cut where the show plays with these little subtitles that they put up in front of before each scene to kind of set the scene, and it just has Eddie, and then it's just a still image of Eddie staring at Frasier on the couch.
Yes, and they've got like they're watching some sort of film or program on the TV, and it's got ominous music on it.
Yeah.
And then the camera just pans round to show Eddie.
Yeah, so again, it shows that Frasier's life's been turned upside down. He's not watching what he wants on the television, for example, because his dad's always watching the TV.
Yes, and
now he's got to put up with Eddie as well.
So Eddie's staring at him for like hours on end, or at least that's what I imagine.
He thinks Eddie's weird. Yeah, he's not weird. He's just a cute dog. It's just that Frasier doesn't want a dog.
So then we cut back to Cafe Nabosa, and Frasier's running in. He's late to see Niles, and Frasier's concerned that him and his father aren't getting along, so they're and Niles again, the optimistic person there goes, and Niles and had a conversation.
Yeah.
And they come up with a solution: a home care worker.
Yes. So they're not gonna
take him in.
They're not even gonna pay for all of it.
No.
They'll happily pay for part of it.
Yeah, no.
But Frasier is delighted about that. We'll just take a second to talk about how small the cups are in Cafe Nervosa. Because they're like the smallest... I mean, how much is a cup of coffee?
What was it? Was it not like $2.50?
It's about $2 or $3 for a cup.
Back then, that was 83, so it's probably...
Yeah, so even more expensive now, but they're like the smallest cups in the world, and that's for like a latte or, it's not even what's that small coffee that everyone gets? An espresso.
I assume, yes, an espresso. As a coffee drinker, you're saying you wouldn't be happy with
I wouldn't be happy with paying that much for that smaller cup. That's a ton. Moving on.
So then we move from after they making about wisecrack, Frasier making about wisecrack about matters about people like her like the sun, the wolves.
Yeah, she's they don't look at her or
it's something,
get too close to her.
It's something about the sun, and they make that wisecrack, and Niles again just thinking,
yeah, it just takes it.
Not first.
But then they're not really got that much of a loving relationship.
No. So then they cut from Cafe Nervosa to Frasier's apartment again, where obviously is this woman from behind, and Frasier, obviously, the one had an entry for a home care worker, and so all you see is the back of this woman, and the door closed again, and Frasier goes, what was wrong with that one?
Yeah. She spent time with Mother Teresa.
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't for Martin. She didn't jive with him.
No, he thought that she was casing the joint to come out.
Mother Teresa should check her jewellery.
I have never been more impressed with a human being in my life. Now, what was wrong with that one?
She was casing the joint.
Casing the joint? She spent 2 years with Mother Teresa.
Well, if I were Mother Teresa, I'd check my jewelry box.
But then Daphne comes in. Well, so we didn't know that. But then the next home care worker comes in, and she's basically what I like to think of as Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
She comes in with this
big carpet bag.
Jane leaves Daphne in, she comes in with this big carpet bag, she's just fixing a bra.
Oh, you cut me with my fingers in the biscuit.
Yes.
Yeah. She's got the worst accent ever, and it's a lot stronger than it. It becomes a lot softer in later.
Yeah.
In fact, it becomes a lot softer in the next episode. Obviously, the pilot must have said it was too broad or too put on.
Of course, the first time I saw Jane Leaf was in an episode of Seinfeld.
Was she in that?
She was in one episode of Seinfeld. She played Jerry's girlfriend.
Didn't know she was in that.
She was in Seinfeld, so there you go, you learned something today.
Yeah.
And so they end up...
What accent did she have?
It was a British accent, not as harsh as that one.
So it was a normal accent.
Yeah, just a normal accent.
Yeah.
And so then she's... Frasier's asking her about her qualifications and all sorts of... So she puts it back on the couch.
Oh yeah, and pulls out her CV.
And out comes I don't know why, but it's like a tennis racket.
There's a tennis racket, there's a duster. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. So I think they're trying to make it out like she is Mary Poppins, even down to the style of bag that she had.
Well, that's what I thought when I saw the episode, it just like Mary Poppins, so...
Well, she is a bit like Mary Poppins in the fact she brings the family together in later episodes.
And it's like a British stereotype. We love America. And she comes in and she can tell that she just loves life. She's been here. She loves America.
Yeah. Well, she's also psychic.
Yeah. And she because she's psychic, she knows that Martin's been up with him.
Yeah. And she thinks Frasier was a florist.
Yes.
Well, it comes and goes.
It comes and goes. And Frasier is... I think that was the bit that first he gone. He thought she was weird before that.
Mm.
But then suddenly, she's psychic.
Do you know when they're like trying to decide whether to hire her or not? They ask. She goes to the bathroom, which is right next to where they're stood. Frasier's really loudly saying that she's a cook, and yet she comes out as if she's not heard it.
She goes in. I often think that about Frasier when they're talking behind the door.
Yeah. These doors are not that thick.
No.
The walls can't be that thick. It's an apartment block.
So, Martin thinks that's great that she's psychic and a bit weird.
Yeah. She's a bit psychic.
And Frasier thinks he's not keen on this at all. But Daphne somehow manages to stay in the house by going to look at some African erotic art.
In the bathroom.
Want to have a chat.
Yeah.
About
her, basically.
Quite loud, but let's not get into this.
Anyway, Martin convinced him that he doesn't have to deal with her because, you know, she'll only be here when he's not.
Yeah.
So he offers her the job, and then she says she'll be moving in. Which obviously was news to Frasier.
And then that starts a whole new...
They basically turf her out, you know, telling her that they'll be in touch. And that starts a whole
If not by the telephone, but by the toaster.
Yeah, if not by the telephone, then through the toaster.
Yeah.
He's very droll the way.
He is very droll.
He's very. I like it. Yeah, so him and Martin have another row.
Yeah.
You know, again, not able to agree on anything.
No.
Still that combative sort of nature, which carries over throughout the whole season. Really.
Frasier's got a point. I mean, it's already having people, but then because Daphne wants to move in, or she believes it's a living position, he wants him to go up the study.
Yeah.
And Frasier says, in typical Frasier fashion, that's where the mother found thinking.
Yeah, profound thinking. Yeah, why don't you use Cam like the rest of the world?
I'm not having another person living in this house.
Give me one good reason why not.
Well, for one thing, there's no room for her.
What about that room right across the hall from mine?
Study? You expect me to give up my study, the place where I read, where I do my most profound thinking?
I use the can like the rest of the world.
The thing is, you know, you can kind of understand where Frasier's come from. Martin's not been very...
No.
Obviously, it's difficult for Martin as well.
Yeah.
But Frasier's had his whole life turned upside down.
Yeah.
You know, his dad's coming to live with him. Although I don't think it's that much of a difficult thing, to be honest. The way they talk about it is like it's a real imposition to him. It's hardly an imposition. He doesn't have to do much. But you know, he's lost another room. He's now losing 2 rooms in his house.
Yeah.
His furniture's been turfed out to replace.
Yes, as we saw Niles beforehand, just turned it on just to the side.
So you can see where he's coming from, where, you know, nobody's really taken into account his thing, and he's trying to be a good son.
Yes, he is.
You know, as the name of the show suggests, and he just gets it thrown back in his face, and he says to his dad, "You might say thank you at least once."
Yeah. Well, they have this big argument, don't they?
Yeah. And then he doesn't say thank you, he just walks off with Eddie.
Yeah.
Which is, again, one of the quality things about Frasier. It's not all pure comedy.
No, there is actually very few... There's jokes, but it's all done by...
Drama as well.
By the drama.
Yeah, it's a dramedy.
You wouldn't have that in most comedies. They'd be like, we need a joke.
Yeah, they love the sort of combative nature of the characters.
Well, I think that's what Frasier does very well. He knows when to have a joke and when just to leave it.
Mm, sure.
So then we're up to the last scene. The radio station where Frasier's running like a lunatic.
Yeah, from the bathroom. Because he's trying to get back for his show to start. It's on a break.
Yes.
The toilet, but it's miles away from the studio. He finally gets back in bed, basically comes back and says, "We'll be right back."
Yes.
So I don't know why didn't they just play another commercial?
I think that's just for a joke purpose, but you just see him walking down the hall.
He's sprinting, he's panting, puts his headphones on, we'll be right back.
And then he gets that, he chucks the headphones, we need to move closer to the studio.
Yeah.
And then back in a way to make Frasier, discuss it. And Ross goes, what's wrong with you? And he points out the fact that he's having trouble communicating with Martin.
Yeah.
And then Ross comes up with this story about
Lupe Velez,
yes. And she comes up with a story about the fact that she wants to be remembered,
She wants to be remembered for dying, but she decides to try and kill herself gracefully, but she ends up dying with her head in the toilet.
Yeah.
And the moral of the story is that, it may not be how you wanted to get there, but you still got there, basically.
She's basically telling him that you've got to keep going.
Yeah. You'll get there eventually.
You can't give up. So then the last scene, which happens to put in a nice scene, is Martin rings up the show, and Frasier almost, he clocks that this is his family.
Yeah.
And
they have a heartfelt heart-to-heart over the radio, and Martin apologises to him. He apologises to Martin, and they kind of end that there. So Martin does appreciate. Martin appreciates what he's doing.
But he's just one of these fathers that can't say thank you.
He just can't say it to his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's quite gruff and reserved. And then it finishes off again using the radio show as a plot point.
Yes.
Is
somebody else rings up about her life's not going
to plan,
and then Frasier steals Ross's anecdote and talks about looking for less.
Yeah. So again, it all works, and they use the colours to facilitate the.
They don't do that as much in later, but especially in the early ones. And basically, it's like a plot device to.
It's a plot device
to drive the show.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And that is it finished there?
I think it finishes there, and of course you've got this closing credits that they also on Frasier where they're all on the couch,
Yeah.
The new cast, if you will.
The new cast. So you've got Martin in his recliner chair. You've got Frasier sat in his chair looking uncomfortable. You've got Eddie staring at him, so that's why he's looking uncomfortable. And you've got Daphne sat next to Eddie on the couch drinking a beer.
So we immediately know
this is it.
That's it. So yeah, that was episode 1. What would you give episode 1 out of 10?
Well, for a pilot, I thought it was really, really good. I mean, for Frasier, I don't know, 7.5.
I would go an 8, yeah.
Yeah, good pilot. And they didn't really differ too much from the characters the way they were from there on,
No, we'll get into this much later on in the series, but the only one I think changes is Daphne.
Daphne definitely changes. Well, no, they all change, I think, but they just soften. Their characters soften like Niall softens.
Yes.
As he becomes more and more likable.
Oh yeah.
But he's reserved and distant at the beginning. He's quite cold. And Martin. In fact, they're all cold. They're all cold, but there's seeds for greatness.
Everyone apart from Daphne in this pilot is cold.
Yeah. Well, every episode has a theme, really, and I guess the theme in this, and a lot of the themes for Frasier are about family, but this is, very much the theme of family and how not all families get on, but you have to look out for your family.
Yeah, they're not all made equal.
Yeah, they're not all made equal. They're not all the same. Everyone in the family is not the same. They're different, but it's having to do the right thing for your family.
I think that's why I like the show. It's not all a bunch of laughs.
Yeah.
It's
it can be quite sad at times.
Yes, it's got, especially in this one, it's got its laughs, but it's also got its serious moments. Yeah.
No, great pilot, and not every episode's great, by the way.
No.
I'd like to point that out, but their blooming ratio of great episodes to bad episodes is pretty high.
Yeah, so that's episode 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we both enjoyed it.
definitely enjoy what you know we do. We're big fans.
Yeah, we really didn't at all, was we?
No, we'll come back with another episode 2 next time.
Yes.
And kind of mosey through that episode and see if there's any changes to the characters.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. Think about subscribing to Ben's channel.
Yeah.
And ring the bell for notifications.
Very important.
Very
Because
apparently.
if you don't ring that bell, you won't know when I'm putting things up.
Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.